Welcome back, scientists. I am Miss Allison, and I'm glad you're back again today to explore science in winter weather. Last time we were together, we looked at how snow can be a solid when temperatures are freezing or below, and we looked at how when that temperature rises, that snow becomes liquid water. We also looked at why snow melts at different rates on different surface areas. Let's look at today's learning target and see what we're going to be learning about. I can explore and observe materials used in winter weather and explain how friction affects these materials on ice. All right, boys and girls, before we dive into our exploring, we need to think about that word friction. This is going to be my hand motion for friction. Let's discover what friction means. Friction is the resistance of motion when one object rubs against one another. So, look at our picture. We have a boy skiing down a snowy hill, and then we have another boy going down a grassy hill. The boy that is going down the snowy hill, his skis are creating less friction than the boy on the grassy hill's shoes. Friction is created when two objects rub together. Friction holds back the movement of a sliding object. So in this picture of the little boy on the slide, the little boy's pants are causing friction with the slide. Right, remember that scientists and engineers have habits that they engage in regularly. Let's check those out again. Scientists and engineers ask questions and identify problems. They use models, they investigate and observe, and they think hard about their observations. They argue from evidence, do research, and talk about their thinking. There are some things I'm curious about today. Let's look at today's big question. Today's big question is an important one. How can we prepare for icy weather? Well, boys and girls, since it is winter time, that is a really good big question. We might need to prepare for icy weather soon. I hope that you guys can help me discover some answers to that question. First, we're going to be looking at some pictures of icy weather. These first few pictures are going to show things that people enjoy doing in winter weather. What do you see on the screen? I see a few examples of sleds. I see a boy pulling a sled and another boy going down the hill on a sled. Does he look like he is going down that hill fast or slow? Remember the answer to that question. We're going to come back to it. Ice skating is another activity that people enjoy doing in the winter. When you ice skate, it's important to wear special skates. Think about how the skates glide across the ice. We'll come back to that as well. Lastly, I have some pictures of people snowboarding and skiing. Think about how the snowboards and the skis move over ice. Do they move smoothly and quickly, or is it a rough glide across the ice? All of those pictures show ways to enjoy icy winter weather. All of those objects in those pictures were designed with a purpose. They were designed to move and glide over the ice and snow quickly and smoothly. I brought some materials here today that are similar to those materials in the pictures. So the sleds could be made of plastic, a hard plastic, or they could be made of wood. And I also have a large block of ice. This is going to represent our snow and ice. So I want you guys to watch as my plastic sled goes down the hill. It went down pretty quickly. Now let's try the wooden sled. Now, this wood also has kind of a glossy finish, so that's important as well. It also goes down pretty quickly. What was on the bottom of the ice skates? That's right, it's like a hard metal. So when people ice skate, they want to be able to go across the ice smoothly, but they don't want to be out of control. So the metal in the ice actually digs into the ice just a little bit to help them stay in control but still go smoothly. So I'm going to demonstrate that gliding across. It still is really smooth, but I can also push down a little bit and feel it digging in to the ice. So let's look at what I've observed with those materials. All of those materials had smooth bottoms. They were smooth surfaces. So they create less friction and enable those people to go at faster speeds. It can be really fun to go fast when we're participating in a winter sport, but when I think about icy weather, there also might need to be some times when we go slow. Let's look at some more pictures and think about how these people are preparing for winter weather a different way. Look at the shoes that these people are wearing. So in the first picture, it looks like the people have their shoes actually sitting on top of something. Why do you think that is? I wonder if it's so their feet don't dig down into the snow. When I'm walking in the snow, I don't really want it to be slick and smooth. So I see on the other boots at the top, there are spikes on the boots. That helps the people wearing those shoes to be able to grip and walk slowly and carefully. The same thing with the rubber boots at the bottom. The soles of those shoes look like they would grip the snow and help you to walk carefully. Those shoes also look really warm. Now, if you live in an area where you get a lot of snow, you probably have to drive in the snow, or your parents do. So they might want to do something to help them to be a little safer while driving in the snow. A lot of times people in areas that get a lot of snow put chains on their tires. That helps them to be able to grip onto the road, and it makes it less slick. The big picture of the road shows an icy road that actually has sand poured onto it. And then the picture at the bottom shows a salt truck dumping sand and salt onto the road. What do we know about sand and salt, boys and girls? I know that it feels rough and kind of gritty. All right, well, we're going to go back to our ice block, but this time we're pretending that it's an icy road. So, my first car is just a regular little toy car with regular tires. Let's watch it go across the road. It went pretty fast. We don't want to crash when we're driving in the ice. My next car actually has little chains glued to the tires. So I'm going to move it across the ice. Wow, it actually got stuck. And notice that it moved slower. When I push it across, I'm actually having to put some effort into pushing it. That would be really important when driving, to be able to go slowly and safely. What did that last picture show, boys and girls? It showed snow and sand on the ice. I have some sand here with me today. I'm going to put some of that on the ice. And I'm going to spread it out a little bit. And then I'm going to go back to my car that does not have chains on the tires, and I'm going to move it across the ice. So that definitely made it go slower. Now I'm going to try my car that has the chains on the tires. Once again, it's stopping. The mixture of the chains on the tires and the sand on the ice is creating a lot of friction. What conclusion can you make for that? Let's look. So, rough surfaces create more friction and cause slower speeds. So our question was, how can we prepare for icy weather? Well, if we're preparing to drive in icy weather, do we want a rough surface or a smooth surface? That's right, we want a rough surface. We want to create a lot of friction. If we are preparing to do a winter sport and we're really brave and we want to go down that hill on our sled really fast, do we need a rough surface or a smooth surface? That's right. If we were doing that, we would want a smooth surface. So we would not need a lot of friction. So just to recap, friction will slow you down and less friction will help you to speed up. Let's check back our learning targets and see if we met it today. I can explore and observe materials used in winter weather and explain how friction affects these materials on ice. And we're also going to go ahead and take a look at those things that scientists and engineers do. Scientists and engineers ask questions and identify problems. What was our question today? We wanted to know how to prepare for winter weather, how to prepare for icy conditions. We used models. We used our block of ice. We used our car with and without chains on it. We used our different things to represent the winter sports surfaces. And we used some sand to represent when trucks put sand and salt on the roads. You guys observed me investigating, and I know that you all thought hard about those observations. Now, it is time to share your thinking with someone else. All right, you did meet your learning target, so let's shoot our target. Pull back your bow and arrow and shoot. Great job, boys and girls. I hope that you can teach someone at your house how to prepare for winter conditions. And I hope that someday soon you get some snow in your area that you get to enjoy. All right, I will see you guys again soon. Be sure to keep being curious and thinking like a scientist and engineer. Goodbye.